We move into the last match of the second round of fixtures. Day 1 featuring Kabras Sugar and Mwamba RFC. Kabras Sugar with a change in their strip, going for the blue and white. Mwamba in your black, predominantly black and gray outfit. Kickers off, going deep and high, but well retained by Kabras. Taking the ball, Siligwa, and he's off to the races, and he looks at his man and says, I will take you on. But nice cross-cover defense by the sweeper. And Cantona swings it out to Mutua. They identify a lot of space to their left here. This is ominous times for Mwamba in the first few seconds of this game. Just a meter short of the try line, and it is a try. Badges over. What a fantastic start by Kabras Sugar.
Well, straight from the wristed, Siligwa rose highest, took the ball, broke the line, and handed the ball to his teammates who had an overlap on the outside channels. And going over is Patrick Clivert for that opening try for Kabras Sugar.
Indeed, with a conversion to come, Cantona attempting to put it and doesn't make it over the whitewash parallel to the try line, and scores at 5-0. As we look there, strong carry, 2 men, shrugs their attention and goes over for the first try for Kabras Sugar. Restart here by Cantona, puts it high. This one will be contested. Brian Mutu already on site, taps it back, but Mwamba are able to retain possession. He's held up, and that becomes a maul, because Mwamba, the ones who put it in, they lose it. Patrick Kluivert, instigator of that maul, and reaps the benefit for it. Positioning of Kabras in this attack, very interesting. Loading the shorter side, leaving too much space on the left, the open side, and you will bet Cantona will shift to that side, and he does so, giving ball in early enough for his winger, who gets apprehended immediately. But they have the whole lot, the whole width to work with here. With a hick step, and not much gained from it, but they get to reset. Identifies the need to keep the defenders there. That was tapped down. Referee calls him for offside. He's lucky not to get away with a yellow card there. And there will be a yellow card here if they're not careful.
Referee says retreat 10 meters. Eliakim Kicho is still excited and animated about that decision by the referee.
Yeah, he wasn't amused.
Still not sure if he was offside or not, but however, we still play on. Kabras Sugar looking to do things at pace. You can see that their passes, their movement and all that maybe rattled by the likes of KCB, who've gone up a notch higher in terms of their performances.
Yeah, always important to make a statement of intent, as we see Cantona just using the full pitch. Lined up at the end of that. Very nice kick, very tactful kick.
That is a try, courtesy of Kabras Sugar.
Victor
Otieno on the wing. I mean, I mean, his positioning would have sold out the trick play. So I'm not sure how Mwamba's positioning there did help them, because it was just a simple cross kick.
I think they were banking on how well that kick will be executed. And as you can see, Cantona very good with his boots. Pinpointed cross kick and a very easy stroll for Victor to the try line. Conversion missed. Scores remain 10-0. As Cantona goes to the skies again. and Mutua arrives as choreographed. There's a knock on there from Ambetsa. Lamek Ambetsa just looking at the space, looking at the ball, caught in two minds, ends up with no benefit at all, knocks it on.
I think that is the first cross kick try we've had this weekend. It's a tactic that I've seen Cantona use before, and I'm sure he'll definitely use that again. Most teams probably aren't prepared for that. They're looking to defend 1v1, create a challenge between one defender against one attacker. But when you put the ball to boot, you then, I mean, it's a tough one to defend. As Mwamba go over for their first, it's a tough one to defend. Try time Mwamba. That is
Eugene Ojambo with at the end of that interplay between the Mwamba forwards. Was a strong carry there by Ojambo right through the heart of Kabras defense, and they didn't realign in time with support on both sides. There's only one way it was gonna end.
Yes, Eugene Ojambo there on hand to feed off that. Well, Mwamba have responded. We probably thought that Kabras were going to run away with this one, but seems like there's life in Mwamba.
Yeah, the issue for them now is to hold on, to stay in touch with Kabras, not to let this game go and slip away from them. Maintain punishing any mistakes, as we do watch them attempting to now punish Kabras for that knocked on in the kickoff and the restart, and he steps back in. Kabras almost guilty of overchasing in that defense. Somehow there was an offside. Referee calls them back for the penalty. They'll go for a quick tap here, I'm sure. 5 meters out, he dives over and scores. Mwamba's second try, Dennis Dayala, and Mwamba suddenly just back into this game.
Yes, Mwamba back into this game. Dennis Dayala going over for that try. 5 meters out, an opportunity just 5 meters away. Tapped there and saw the line and had two defenders to beat, just weaved his way through that defensive line. Nothing there for Kabras Sugar to do.
Absolutely nothing. They were still backpedaling, and Mwamba recognizing the position they were in, the territory they were in. Any touch on him there, any touch on Dayala would have led to a yellow card. But they do now put some question marks into Kabras' challenge here. Some of the minor infringements, getting ahead of the kicker. Sometimes you see referees overlooking those incidences, but where it's so blatant, you force the referee's hand.
Yeah, where it's glaringly in front of the kick, as Jackson also receives the ball but knocks it on. It is half time. Kabras Sugar 10, Mwamba 12.
Seketi, Jackson Seketi will be taking the kicking duties from here. Interesting match. Really fantastic first half for the neutrals. 12-10 in favor of Mwamba. That was never scripted, but Mwamba turning up and giving Kabras something to think about in the second half.
Yes, definitely something to think about for Kabras Sugar this second half. Mwamba, like we did say, they're sevens through and through. And as such, it's not a surprise that they would take Kabras toe-to-toe on this specific game. However, it's an important fixture for both sides because it decides on who finishes top. And as they wrap around, Seketa dances, brings Ojambo to his feet. That is Humphrey Asiligwa, who scores and is tackled. Try time, Kabras Sugar. Kabras Sugar 15, Mwamba 12.
Yeah, Jackson Seketa putting his imprints into this game early enough. He comes in and put his man to stop as they looked around and released Humphrey Asiligwa all the way to the try line. Kabras Sugar now will look to close this game up early on in the second half. Mwamba have to stay in touch. If they stand any chance to get a result out of this game, they have to stay in touch. Skater once again with a restart. They have been good at those ones. The first half they really put Mwamba on the defense, the balls that were coming from the skies, and that's a good restart. Puts enough pressure on them, and it is rightly adjudged to have been tapped back into play and out of touch to the benefit of Mwamba RFC.
Yes, Mwamba will be looking to hit back, having going into the break with a 2-point lead. Now they trail, having considered that early try in the second half. Rolling forward. Diala Brian, Tua now shakes the attention of Siligwa. There is no clear release, no roll away. Diala. Scooter. Liakim cuts back against the grain. Once again, the side referee says no 10 meters, playing an advantage. That sounds like a yellow card offense.
It is.
Rightfully so. The referee will be sending one of the Kabras players into the sin bin. That is Jackton Osu. Also is sent to the naughty.
Yeah, that was a cynical play. I mean, any player, once they are sold, will know that within 10 meters, touch a player, you will get your matching orders, and just costs his team numerical advantage here. As we see Mwamba going over the whitewash, putting down 5 more points. Kabras.
Sikuta. That is Sikuta Steve going over. Big boy.
Yeah, and just identifying the opportunity that is there. 5 meters out, carries it strongly, puts it down, and once again, Kabras find themselves trailing in this seesaw of a match. Kabras might want to reconsider their options here. They are keeping this game too close, and it will just bring a lot of complications in terms of their tables, in terms of their pool. This was not something that had been planned for.
There's nothing like plan, because even Mwamba had a plan of their own, so it's everyone for themselves, really. We can't really cry on behalf of Kabras. Kabras have to win their games, same way Mwamba is.
Very true, and Mwamba having learned a lot. Remember, they won their first game today, and win this one, and they'll definitely be tops in terms of the pool standings. Far much more improvement from what they had in Mombasa, and they are playing in the right places. They have the territory advantage, and they're also confident. You can see that from the way they're playing. I mean, they have tried things out and it's working. They look to go to the right here, 2v1 with only pace. Referee calls that one a forward. Very marginal, but nonetheless the ref calls it as a forward. When it was a 2v1 situation, those are things that you train so many times on the training ground. 2v1, and just how many times do we see forwards in such situations?
Well, so many times you see those balls being passed forward, especially the inside man who's probably trying to run a short line. They are sometimes suspected of encroaching and actually going in front of the ball carrier. So if you do pass that ball, you find that most of the time they're forward. So the angle is not as easy as you think. Easier said than done. The execution is a tough one. However, that's an opportunity gone back in Mwamba. They would have scored that, taken the game away from a 5-point difference, maybe from a 2-point difference, maybe to a 7-point difference, maybe over 7. That means Kabras have to score twice. So game of margins, time now for Kabras to put something together, maybe to rescue this. 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Yeah, a good put in there from Ambetsa. The ball goes out and it is immediately knocked on. Nothing going right. Nothing going right for Kabras. I mean, the nerves now showing and the pressure and tension getting to them. And immediately Marlin Mukolwe makes changes here, brings in substitutions. The name of Collins Osore comes in to replace Lamek Ambetsa at number 9. Barely any time to work with on the clock here. And Mwamba just need a lot of game management here. Ensure that they are able to retain possession as the hooter goes. Another upset in the making. Successful ball. And it just made people tense here quite a bit, trying to run it. And Mwamba collect their second win of day 1 in Prinsloo Sevens, upsetting the form boys in Kabras and going to the top of the pool.
Really, I don't think that is the form boys. The form boys are the champions, KCB. But anyway, it is a tall order as Mwamba celebrate there in your picture. Liakim Kichoi celebrating with his technical bench and his teammates. Full-time scores, Kabras Sugar 15, Mwamba 17.